Hey guys, Reapergamez here with a deck profile. We are going over my top 32 blue flare list. We're going to go over this and then I'll be posting another video with a top 4 in a Mario 39-man tournament. It's a deck that I'm kind of workshopping blue flare again for the Ultimate Cup. We'll kind of go over some changes that I would have made for the Ultimate Cup blue flare list, but with this list we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So getting started with the eggs here, we are running 4 Wanyamon. It's just going to be the best egg for blue flare because you're playing blue tamers. You're always going to try to have that out, so it always just gets you a free draw. That's going to be the best main egg that you run. And because we're running kind of a rookie rush type list, you do want the 5th egg. And sometimes you're going to have the Baby Dramon and you're not going to see the final Wanyamon, and that does suck, but sometimes the Baby Dramon is just a little bit better, and you just want it for that one draw for the consistency there. So those are the 5 eggs. We're going to go ahead and get started with the rookie lineup. Getting started here, we're running 4 of the Gaussmon. This is going to be your main rookie for the entire deck, and it's going to be consistently among like BP12, EX4, and all of that stuff. And its effect's real simple. You just swing in, and then you get to play a blue flare level 4 or lower. And honestly, I wouldn't run this at anything less than 4 just because you just need to cheat out your... You always need to cheat out your level 4s, and that's just going to be the best way to do that. Going on to the next one, we are running 3 Dracomon. You can bump this up to 4, but honestly, you're kind of hard for room in these deck lists. And I just think 3 is going to be one of your best ones just because you don't want to see too many, because if you draw too many, you just kind of struggle near the end game with it. But honestly, I think 3 Dracomon is the best because you can Digivolve off of it, but mainly you want it because if you just have it on the field, you get to go ahead and So the best combo is if you have both these out, you swing with the Gaussmon, it dies, you play a Greymon, you get to draw off the Dracomon and then search whatever you're missing. But if you're stuck and you don't want it to die in the back, you can go ahead and Digivolve for it, and then it'll gain you a memory instead. But it's a really good backup rookie, and it helps filter out with the blue flares, because you're going to need to make sure that you're adding as many of those as you can. Now, the next 2 rookies are definitely just tech picks, and they can be kind of swapped out with whatever you're dealing with, like your local meta. If you're running into a lot of Grandis and Black War Gray, honestly, Sayakamon is going to be one of the best picks because they don't really use like the Mem boost, so Madoki Betamon doesn't really do the job, but they do get to Digivolve and reduce Digivolution cost. So honestly, this is my best pick for just the techs, for the tech rookie slot. You can obviously swap this out for Madoki Betamon if you're running into more memory chokers and stuff like that, but honestly, I think Sayakamon is the best choice with Grandis running around as well as Black War Gray, because they get that free Digivolve for 2 into an ultimate. My second pick is Jamming Demon. And again, you can swap this out with Madoki Betamon or even Jellymon. But I like Jamming Demon because you get your consistent swings. It's not going to die in security unless you hit an option, and a lot of people are not just running a bunch of options. And if you hit into a Hades Force, it's never going to actually take it out. Like, you're going to have something bigger on the board, and you kind of want this for whenever you're in that metal, whenever you're in the Black War Gray matchup, and they're redirecting your largest attacks. Well, they can't redirect Jamming V if you have a smaller, or if you have a bigger Digimon on board. So, honestly, again, Madoki Betamon works just fine in the slot, but I think you want this because they have to answer it with either attack, and it kind of leads into, like, stalling into the game. Next up, that is it for our rookies. We're going to go ahead and go into our champion lineup. And for our level 4s, it's a really basic setup. You're running 4 Greymon, you're running 4 Male Bergamon, and these are just for the blue ones. We'll go into the cheeky picks a little bit later. And then 3 Deckertramon. So the reason why you're running the Greymon is just because he does everything. He searches your deck for more of the blue flares, and he goes ahead and can get you a Metal Greymon back from the discard pile. Male Bergamon always lets you cheat out your Kirias, and again, you need these for your Digicross, which is the main thing with the deck. So honestly, 4 and 4 is the best way that you're going to be able to run this. Deckergamon is, again, in a tech slot. When you're running into a lot of Black War Gray, you need to be able to freeze their stack, and you can't always freeze that with the Metal Gray card. So you need that Deckergamon to, one, draw you a bunch of, like, honestly, if you don't have either of these two, it can still get you to your main pieces with its draw effect. But the main reason you want it is for the Deckergamon freeze effect, because you're not always going to be able to have them have less sources than you, especially with X anybody, so this is the best way to do that. And again, it's slotting out so that way we don't miss with Blazing Memory Boost. Now for just some silly little techs for the champion lineup, I do run 2 of the security attack Greymon. He does go ahead and count for the Greymon name, so whenever you're digicrossing, you can actually go ahead and swing and deal 2 attacks, and he'll fit into that slot. Now granted, you will end up bottom decking him a lot, but with the amount of draw power in this deck, with the Dracomon and the Deckergamon and the Digivolutions, you're just going to really be able to hit this card very consistently, and it really just helps. Plus, I'll go over a little bit of a tech later on in the video just to kind of go over some stuff. We are now in our champion, or our ultimate slot, or level 5 slot, and of course you're running 4 Metal Gray. You're running, well, I'm running, not you're running. You can kind of choose whatever lineup you want, but this is the list that I was running, and it's real simple, real easy. We're running 4 Metal Gray because you need it. It's your main attacker. You're running 3 of the Deckergamon, like I said, to go ahead and freeze those big stacks that you cannot freeze with Metal Gray. Plus, it just Digivolves for 2 over the Metal Gray or over the Cyber Launcher. And then we're running 2 Cyber Launchers. This is to be able to hit any Solarmons or Gazimons or Psychmons. You just need to be able to hit those so you can consistently gain memory and do all of whatever you need to actually hit. So that is going to be the best way to kind of hit those. Plus, he counts as Metal Gray, so he helps with your Zeke play. But one of the best things about these two is, let's say you go ahead and you Digicross into this lineup. So you Digicross with these into here. You pop your Mem Boost, you Digivolve into either 2 of these. Either one works. But then you can slot in the Greymon, and then you can swing for 2 checks, Armor Purge out if you die, and then swing for another 2 checks. And then you can Digivolve into Zeke for game. But that's kind of the way that we're going about this. But honestly, that is where I am with the champions. Or, sorry, with the ultimates. Again, this is really good for freezing the big stacks, and that's why you run that at 3, just for consistency. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to deal with Black War Gray. It's just going to take care of you way too quickly. For our Mega Slot, or level 6s, we are running 3 Greymon. Real simple, real easy. He's kind of your game ender. You'll Digivolve for Metal Greymon for 2. If they have 2 or more Digimon, you'll go ahead and be able to swing over, or you'll be able to regain that memory. So you Digivolve for free and you unsuspend, and then you can swing again. And honestly, that's really good with the Security Attack Greymon, because you can do that restanding in play that I just explained, except by Digivolving into this and swing for that 2 damage. And if you've already got in with a rookie, you can finish it off with a rookie. He does have a great ability where if he's deleted, you kind of don't really care as long as you have a Kyria on the field, but honestly, he's just really good for closing out games. I do run him at 3 because you want to see him. Anything less and you're just going to be risking it. We do run the 1 Death X, and that's for X-Cross or games that just go a little bit wide, and even against the Black War Gray matchup, because they're going to be spamming Cool Boys, Yuyas, and if the game stalls on long enough, this will end up costing a little bit less, and you can get rid of that Black War Gray X, so they can't redirect, and then you can swing in for game. It's just a really good consistent card that you just run at 1. Plus, he's good in security. If they attack into it, most things die to that. For Tamers, we're only running 4 of the Kyria. It's just the best way to go about it. You could run the Soranjo, you could run the White Tamer, but honestly, it just felt a little bit too bricky for me, and with Black War Gray, you just can't really keep up with their Tamer destruction, so it doesn't seem like any more Tamers really helps in that matchup. For options, we are running 4 of the Blazing Mem Boost, just so that way you can search out all of your parts, and it gives you the 2 additional memory, plus it lets you play Carry Off for free. It is really good at dealing with all of that info. But yeah, we're running that. We are then running the pretty much what I like to call the security bombs. They're not really that bomby in this format, but they do kind of help with things. Most of the time, they don't really attack with too much memory, so with the hammer sparks you can catch them off guard, as well as the ice wall. There have been plenty of times where I've hit 2 of these in security and it stops their turn, or you can use them to extend your plays. That's why I like running the hammer spark, because it works as both a defensive card as well as an offensive card. Ice wall is more defensive, but Sorai can be used as offensive as well, because it can help make sure that you get your stuns. But really, that's the deck. Some changes that I would like to make. You could run the Metal Greymon X, and I was running it for a little bit, but it just seemed like it wasn't consistent enough. Plus, you were losing all of your pieces in security if you did have your Tamer up. But honestly, I don't think I would have changed anything for this format, to be completely honest with you. I think this was the best list to kind of go in with. I do like Yuya in the deck list, and I would like to try to find some room to maybe put him back in, but after testing, I just didn't think that there was a way to actually do that. But thank you guys so much for watching. This was Reapergamez here, and the name that the deck was under was Jacob White, so just make sure to kind of look at that if you want to figure out a little bit more. But you guys, just thanks for watching. Have a great day.